welcome back to Check the Gate, a Film Lovers Deep Dive. I'm Bert, and as always, I'm joined with Brandon.
I am Batman.
He is Batman, and Alfred. Michael, how we doing?
I am Alfred.
Can you say the fishy swaz is supposed to be cold?
No, I cannot.
Okay, never mind. And today we are doing our final holiday hoopla film. Brandon chose this movie, the 1992 classic Batman Returns, which is about while Batman deals with the deformed man calling himself the Penguin, wreaking havoc across Gotham with the help of a cruel businessman, a female employee of the latter becomes the Catwoman with her own vendetta. Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Why this movie for our Christmas collision?
Great question. I just wanted to do something different than the classic, Christmas movies that are always on. We've talked about most of them in years past. Like, I just wanted to do something different that has a Christmas under theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Takes place during Christmas. I mean, why not?
Visually, this movie is phenomenal. Like, as far as, like, obviously with Tim Burton, this is the second Batman movie he did, and it's just like Gotham at Christmas time, even though it looks so miserably cold, it also looks so cozy and comfy, like, weirdly, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that old, but 1940s possibly? What year is it in Gotham?
No idea. But what cracked me up is that, like, what's his name? Max.
Michael Keaton. Oh,
yeah. Max was like trying to take the surplus of energy and whatnot, but yet the visuals of the Gotham City, you're like, what surplus of energy? Because the city still looks super dark, and it looks like they're running coal plants the entire time.
Hell yeah, brother.
So yeah, I mean, visually it was awesome.
And then just obviously
the Christmas trees.
I was going to say setting the aesthetic with around Christmas time too, where there's just fucking snow everywhere. Everybody looks so miserably cold, especially Danny DeVito. How does this guy not get pneumonia the whole time they're filming this movie?
It's that fat suit.
Honestly, yeah, he's probably very warm.
Yeah.
3 hours in the makeup chair, by the way. Stan Winston, the whiz that is Stan Winston, making those penguin puppets along with the makeup that Danny DeVito does put on, like, and just looking like a thing out of your goddamn nightmares. Brandon, you said you watched this with your son.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was, it was pretty good. He's seen some of the Batmans. I don't think he's seen all of them, but there were certain times where he'd ask funny questions, and I'd have to try to,
like, what's the French flipper trick?
No, more like, why is he bleeding black blood? Like, why does he constantly have black coming out of his mouth? Like why is his nose shaped like that? Why is his hands look like flippers? Like, no. How did he lose his fingers? And I'm like, man. He picks up on a lot of stuff like that, but
maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah. And like, it was funny because, like, when the Penguin's talking about stealing the firstborns, and obviously he's my firstborn, and he stood up and he like looked at me and he was like wide-eyed, just like,
Dad, I need a minute.
Is someone coming for me?
Only if you've been naughty this year.
Why do those penguins have missiles strapped to them?
Honestly, son, why doesn't every penguin have a missile strapped to their backs?
Like, they're gonna shoot
with
them
with some sick ass military helmets with little targets that pop over their eyes. Are we kidding me? This is like the closest we can get to, like, the Batman animated series.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I was talking.
Glad you brought that up.
Like, I mean, obviously, it's the same music, the Danny Elfman score, by the way, in all of these, like, late 80s to late 90s, that 10-year run of Batman movies. The Danny Elfman score is, like, top notch.
It was stuck. It was stuck in my head all night last night. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, I was just humming it.
But then at the same time, I'm talking to my wife, and I'm like, this movie is like such a weird outlier. You know, it's like the first one with Jack Nicholson's Joker. Apparently, Tim Burton wasn't exactly happy with Warner Brothers because, you know, they kind of had a little bit of creative control over what could or couldn't get done. And then obviously with the Schumacher movies, it's such a different, like they completely revamp Gotham altogether. They get rid of the old like 1940s Gothic architecture. Now everything looks like a fucking rave. There's like neon everywhere. You know, our villains and Two-Face and Riddler are like very bright colored. This movie's just very like monochromatic black and like dark blue and like a gray. Like this is such, and it's obviously like you said last night, very horny ass movie.
Yes, bonk.
And then just also like so like to your point of you showing your 8-year-old son, I saw this movie for the first time when I was 8, and I feel like I could sense my dad also being like, "Is this maybe like the one that we should have waited on?" Because it was out. Because I remember seeing Batman Forever and Batman and Robin in theaters. Like, I have this weird memory of Batman Forever. I was 4 years old, and I remember seeing it in theaters. Like, there's specific scenes that stick out. Batman and Robin is now available to rent, and my dad goes, "We should." It was one of those crazy times where he was just like, "You know what? I think you're not going to go to school tomorrow, and we're going to watch the Batman movies." And me being excited to watch 2 Batman movies instead of going to school sounded like an awesome idea.
Hell yeah!
Only to find out there's 4. Are you kidding me? I got 2 bonus Batman movies I've never seen before. Loved the first one. Honestly, I really like this one too. But I could definitely feel my dad just being like, "All right, this Danny DeVito guy is he's a bit much."
Yeah, I thought
a button.
I thought
Let me just stick it on there.
I thought some of the because there's a lot of sexual innuendos in this movie, and I think that it takes away from the movie a little bit,
Sure.
in comparison to the other Batman movies. But the theme, the theme of it really, and just the set designs really reminded me of the cartoons growing up,
Yes.
and that was very nostalgic to me. And I was like, man, like, with the presents and people popping out of things and like the clowns and like I was just it just took me back, and I was like,
Just like the gonzo-ness of it too is like very cartoony. So I think that's why I kind of hold this one and then the Batman 1989 kind of in higher regard, just because that was kind of the template we got for Batman the Animated Series. And for anybody who kind of, you know, was grew up in the 90s, like that was like Cartoon Network. My favorite time was whenever Batman the Animated, when they had the Warner Brothers logo with the eyes that pop up and it's like those Zeppelin like searchlights. I'm like, oh, we're in for it.
for sure.
And it's streaming now on HBO Max. Do that while you can, before it becomes Max Flex or whatever the hell they're going to turn it into. Cinema's dead, guys. Cinema's dead. But until then, we stand on business and we'll talk about it as much as we can. Like I said, 1992 film. The top 3 films in 1992. Number 3, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Number 2, The Bodyguard. And number 1, Aladdin.
Ooh.
2 years in a row, the highest grossing films are Disney animated films, with 1991 Beauty and the Beast being the highest grossing film. And then Batman Returns clocked in at number 6 on the year. Made a shit ton of money, but still didn't cross Batman 1989's gross. Speaking to the horniness and subject matter, a lot of parents kind of pissed about taking their kids to see this. There was like McDonald's Happy Meal tie-ins to this. Like it's Batman. Like it's for kids, you know? And then so a lot of parents are just like, ugh! Not only is Danny DeVito kind of a sleaze in this, he also is giving my child fucking nightmares because he looks like the goddamn Babadook. Ticket cost in 1992, $4.15, which is equivalent to $9.49 our money. The budget for the film was somewhere between $50 to $80 million, which is equivalent to between $114.3 and $182.9 million. The box office for the film was $266.8 million, which is equivalent to $610 million. I was able to find salaries for this, by the way.
Ooh.
Michael Keaton in the Batman 1989 was paid $5 million, and for this he got a raise of $10 million, which is equivalent to $22.8 million our money. Could not find anything on Danny DeVito. I know that Jack Nicholson called him and said, I took back end. Jack Nicholson got paid $40 million for Batman 1989.
Wow.
Because he took back end points. So, like, that's more of, like, the movie makes this much, you get a percentage. So, apparently DeVito was like, I took the role because Jack Nicholson said, you're going to make a mint. But I couldn't find anything on that. Michelle Pfeiffer made $3 million, which is equivalent to $6.8 million our money. Who was actually, they had Annette Bening cast, but then she got pregnant and had to drop out, so they brought in Michelle Pfeiffer. So that's $13 million of the 50. Who knows how much Danny DeVito got paid? But pretty much everybody else, except for Christopher Walken, is just kind of like background side characters. Don't really matter. But film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, and it lost both. Nominated for Best Makeup. Brandon, will you look up the 1993 Academy Awards? Like the year 1993 for the 92 awards? Because I'm curious who won Best Makeup. And then also Best Visual Effects.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula film.
And then what was the other?
Best Visual Effects.
Death Becomes Her.
Never seen it. Anyway. I do love how Tim Burton, he didn't want to make a direct sequel to Batman. It, like, didn't interest him whatsoever. So his whole point was, like, if Warner Brothers gives me full control, I'll come back. They gave him full control. It was like, we're going to do, like, a sequel, but we're also, like, kind of, with the exception of bringing up Vicky Vale, like, towards the end, it's kind of is just its own one-off. And to that, obviously, we don't need an origin story for Batman, even though we didn't kind of get one in the one before. We get, like, a very speedy, but also, like, perfect for this movie, like, origin of the Penguin himself. You know, it's all for, like, we can knock this out while the credits are playing, and you understand exactly what's happening, you know?
Yeah, and you have that nice, like, good versus evil, the black baby carriage versus the white baby carriage on the same bridge that the Penguin drops off in the end. Like, it was fitting. It was great.
Yeah. And then obviously having Pee Wee Herman play his dad is like like Paul Rubens there also with, like, the great big long, I don't know what those are called, but, like, the Cruella de Vil, like, cigarette holders, like, obviously they bring it up because, like, in the comics, he smokes out of one.
Yeah.
And so that one guy, he's like, time to earn your birthright, and puts it in his mouth, and he spits it out. He's got, like, that big old long cigarette holder hanging out of his mouth with the monocle and top hat. We hear his wife in there giving birth, only for, like, the nurses and the doctors to scream because this child is so hideous. The nurse is leaving while the doctor's, like, holding his mouth like he's going to throw up. It's the grossest thing he's ever seen. He just watched a woman give birth to a child, and he's like, oh, this child is so hideous. They lock this baby in, like, this cage. We see it, like, eat the cat.
Yeah, just grab that cat.
And according to Reddit, this is foreshadowing for later in the movie when he has conflicts with Catwoman, okay? Yes, thank you for the imagery. Okay. They kind of both have, like, a knowing look. All right, we're going to kill this baby. It's Christmas time. What better place than to take it to this own lonely bridge out in, like, the cold middle of nowhere. You know, we're seeing people walking by with their own carriages. Oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And they dump this, like, huge bassinet into this little river. It doesn't sink, but it just kind of plods along. And that's all we need, guys. Like, we know this river is going to take him into the sewer, and that's when our Danny Elfman score kicks in, letting us know, you know, like, while the credits are playing, we're just following this bassinet. The visuals are so great in this. Like, it like goes down like a waterfall.
Yeah, a little waterfall.
It finds its way to like this old abandoned zoo where only fucking penguins live now. All the other animals are gone. Who knows where they went, but the penguins are still holding up in like the Arctic zone of this zoo where apparently it's just always freezing cold. I had read that Tim Burton wanted a very specific kind of penguin, but they were like super hard to train, and the only like well-trained penguins were like in a zoo in the UK. So they flew these penguins over in their own refrigerated section of a plane. They got free reign of this plane while they flew them over. They had their own like giant suite, what's called a suite, like where they housed the penguins, where it would be like 100 degrees outside in the middle of fucking LA heat summertime. The cooler was always kept at 30 degrees. So it was always like, so they're filming in this giant icebox, by the way. This is where they, like, their habitat had like a 12,000 gallon pool of water for them to just hang out. They were bringing in ice from the docks daily.
Didn't they have 24-hour security too?
Yeah, 24-hour security. So nothing bad would happen to the penguins, and also nobody be fucking with them. But like now the budget is inflating because obviously when you are working with live animals, there's a lot of steps that it's like working with children. But honestly, weirdly animals are more protected than children in Hollywood. Well, I was reading a thing about something about True Grit, the Coen brothers movie, True Grit, where Haley Steinfeld is like 13 years old in that movie, and she's riding a horse in like water, and the water is cold, and like the rules were the horse could only be in the water for a certain amount of time, but Haley Steinfeld could be in the water for whatever. We don't really care.
Yeah, she's fine.
So like the rules of keeping the horse comfortable was like more important than like the 12-year-old little girl. End of the line. Little baby penguin is now surrounded by real life penguins. They take them, if you will, under their wing. I think you meant. We fast forward 33 years. It's Christmas in Gotham. We see they're doing a tree lighting ceremony. They got the Ice Princess hitting the button. We got this great big, Rockefeller Square area, Gotham Plaza with a giant Christmas tree that lights up. The 8 people that are there watching, kind of applaud while Alfred's walking around with his brown paper bag with gifts hanging out of it. We see like a newsie, selling papes discussing the human penguin. Come see the human penguin. We get to the top floor of, as I wrote down, the wackiest building ever. It's got like a giant Felix the Cat head on top of it. Shrek Industries. Christopher Walken plays Max Shrek, who's named after the actor who portrayed Nosferatu in the original Nosferatu. An original character, not a DC character whatsoever. There's a lot of rumors and innuendo that it was supposed to be Two-Face in this movie, because Billy D. Williams plays Harvey Dent in the original Batman. There was talk of bringing him back, but because of Penguin and Catwoman, it seemed a little crowded for there to also be 3 villains, so they kind of nixed it all together. There's rumors that at the end, when he gets electrocuted, that was what was going to, make his face turn. But obviously they decided a little too bloated of a movie for that to happen, but apparently that was all just rumors and innuendo anyway. Christopher Walken is pushing with the mayor and a bunch of his cronies for a new power plant. Gotham needs power. I promise I'm not going to do that. I do it terrible, Walken. Everyone's like, if anything, we have a surplus of power. We have too many power plants. To which Christopher Walken's like, you're actually a fucking idiot if you think we don't have enough power. You can never have enough power. I say, we push on this power plant right away. We get Michelle Pfeiffer as his assistant secretary, depending on who you ask and what time of day you ask. Serving up coffee. You know, she's like super awkward about it too, because obviously instead of like being on the other side of Walken pouring the coffee,
she's
reaches
like across him. Yeah.
While he's looking at the mayor having a conversation, so she's like completely in frame, like doing the little. If I'm really quiet while I do this, it's like I'm invisible. She kind of chimes in. Oh, I have a question about this. They all just kind of look at her like, "Oh, woman talking." Christopher Walken's like, I apologize for my assistant Selena Kyle.
She's not properly housebroken.
You know, not housebroken. He's got. I do love, by the way. He just like has the one cigar. He's never smoking a cigar this entire movie, but he always just has like one cigar hanging out of his fucking Beetlejuice jacket, with his Beetlejuice hair too, like almost like the director directed Beetlejuice as well.
Yeah.
She's not properly housebroken. She does make a mean cup of coffee, though. Only for his son, Chip. This fucking dork, Chip, shows up and says, Dad, it's time to grace the poor people with your presence. Let them know that Gotham's in good hands, kind of thing. They head down to the tree lighting ceremony. Only for Michelle Pfeiffer to have her, like, little... Dude, she is so good in this movie, by the way.
She is very, very good.
I feel like my only memories of her are just like being kooky and wacky in her cat suit, but like just like the stuff that she is doing by herself is like so good.
She was great being super awkward and like clumsy,
calling herself a corn dog. Yeah, corn dog.
Talking to herself like when she's playing her messages.
Yeah, the conversation with nobody but to her answering machine.
She was good. She was really good.
Super, very quirky, but also like super dorky too. She's just like, Christopher Walken wants the mayor gone, but he has no way to do it because he doesn't have a candidate. We're back in the office, and Pfeiffer realizes that Walken has forgotten his speech. To which we cut downstairs, and Walken has to give a speech to everybody. He does the thing. I forgot my speech. Remind me to take it out on what's her name when I get back upstairs. She tries running it down to him as he's like pulling a speech out of his ass. You know, the mayor calls him Gotham Santa Claus, and he goes, Santa Claus, afraid not. I just want everybody, you know, to do well and prosper, and with, you know, all this dumb bullshit that he's literally just pulling out of his ass, only for like a giant Christmas present to come bounding down the road as we see like the POV of like Penguin's flippers like gripping like sewer grates. And like the deep
heavy breathing.
Heavy breathing, probably trying to breathe because that
prosthetic nose.
Like the mayor like goes up to Walken, he's like, nice touch. And he's like, it's not mine. Only for the insane clown posse to break out of this. The wacky circus gang. Because ICP is taken, so it's the wacky circus gang. They break out of this giant present on motorcycles, stilts. I mean, like, this is like right out of a cartoon.
Straight out of the cartoon.
75 people come out of this giant present, and they just start fucking with everybody in Gotham. There's like flamethrowers. We're machine gunning people. I always forget the name of this actor, but he's like the organ player, the organ grinder with the monkey, who's like in a lot of stuff you've seen. He's like he looks like my history teacher from high school. Not that means anything to you guys, but he just, every time I see him, I go, oh, that's Mr. McClane from Notice High School.
John McClane?
No, man, we did that. And he goes, it's spelt different. Thank you. I'm like, okay. He's like rocking an organ grinder, and it's just like a Gatling gun, like destroys the tree. Everyone's absolutely panicking. We get the Commissioner Gordon saying, turn on the bat signal, turn on the bat signal. Only for us to finally cut to our hero, Michael Keaton, who's just like quietly brooding in his study. The first image you see of him where he's just like fist under his chin, just like in the corner.
Like,
as the bat signal lights up.
What are you thinking about there?
Probably about how his family was murdered in an alley, Brandon.
Quite possible.
Martha! Why did you say that name? Martha!
Oh, I can't wait till we get to our Batman rankings by the end of this. It's like this intricate bat signal device that sees the bat signal in the sky. It turns on one on his roof that then shines into another one.
Reflects it right into his face.
Luckily, he was in that room. But then we also get like the great image of like the light turning on. He like snaps to in like that superhero pose. He like slowly stands up.
It just reminded me of like Kramer in Seinfeld with the red light, just like jarring.
What's going on in there, Kramer?
It's the bat signal, Jerry.
He like stands up and he's like perfectly silhouetted in like just bathing in the bright light with like the bat signal is just like right behind him. It's just like great imagery. The circus performers try to kidnap Christopher Walken right as the Batmobile rolls in, and Batman starts dispatching people, possibly killing people. Batman's got a death count in this movie. He lights a guy on fire with his Batmobile because it spits fire at him, so he says, "I'll do you one better." By the way, probably my favorite Batmobile too. Like, this was the toy that I had. Like,
yeah,
with the giant fins on the back. Obviously, as Forever and Batman and Robin came out, like there was other bat accessories you can get, like the bat plane, bat submarine. But like this image of the Batmobile is like why every other Batmobile just looks weird to me. Like as we get into like the Christian Bale and the Robert Pattinson, it's just like, man, but they just don't look.
I would argue that Christian Bale's Batmobile is pretty dope too. But,
the Tumbler?
But
the Tumbler?
But this one is the like iconic.
It's iconic. Yeah. I love it.
Getting that McDonald's Happy Meal with this toy in it was like the best thing ever.
You pull it back and it goes by itself.
Yeah.
Michael, did you have a plethora of Batman toys when you were younger? That was like 80% of what I had as a kid. I was a massive Batman kid.
I was really enamored with Pokemon most of my childhood, so anything that wasn't that, I don't think so. But I do remember there being an occasional, like, oh, this is sick, you know? So maybe a little bit.
I remember, like, those toy commercials were crazy on Cartoon Network.
I mean, yeah, they really were like, I fucking want that. Let's go to Toys R Us right now and let's get that.
Anytime, like, the new villain came out, you're like, I have to get the villain action figure. I can't have Batman be fighting Penguin my whole entire life. And I don't want a Catwoman, Dad. I want a Mr. Freeze.
Or the Two-Face where his head like flips around and then it's like,
yeah. Well, yeah. I remember how they like you like squeeze the arms and like the chest and the back would open up and like another head would like.
Oh yeah, I had that one.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I got my Two-Face action figure. I had Riddler was always my favorite growing up. I'm sure a lot of that is because I'm fucking 4 years old and Jim Carrey is doing Jim Carrey stuff. But like even in the animated series, when the Riddler would come on, I would just get excited because it was like, oh, he's gonna ask riddles and questions. Like it felt like more like a mystery than just like the man bat he has to fight. Like some sort of supernatural thing. It always felt like more clever, like when he's fighting him. But I remember I had this Riddler toy for the longest time. And I finally got a Two-Face, and it came with, like, the collectible double-sided coin.
Ooh, nice.
Of, like, the two heads, and one side is all, like, gashed up.
Yeah.
Everything. So then it was, like, there was, like, 6 months where I was, like, a big Two-Face guy, because I would just be flipping the coin. And you do the thing with your lip. I loved it.
Great times. Great times.
You know what? Somebody ought to look up fucking merchandise sales from these movies, because they had to have made a mint. And also, who has the rights to that? Is that just Warner Brothers pumping that shit out? I imagine since George Lucas, did everybody over by owning all the merchandising rights for Star Wars, they were like, we'll never do that again. But
the franchise generated. This is all I got is billions of dollars in merchandise revenue.
Billions, plural.
The 1989 Batman film set a precedent by earning over $500 million from toys, costumes, and other merchandise.
So let's let's do this right now. $500 million in 1989 is $1.2 billion.
Batman Forever, it says it's a massive promotional push, including a major deal with McDonald's for popular collector glass mugs, which I totally remember.
Those are the GOAT mugs, my guy.
The franchise,
those are expensive now.
Yeah, the franchise was estimated to have raked in around $3 billion in merchandising sales from Batman '89 to Batman Forever. Whew.
Okay, so so $3 billion from 89 to 95 in 6 years.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's fucking awesome. Anyway, back to Batman killing people. He lights a guy on fire with his kick-ass Batmobile because it has the fucking flamethrower at the back. We see that Michelle Pfeiffer is being taken, not quite kidnapped, not quite hostage, but she's being held at taser point by this very large clown. Batman rolls up and he says, "You better watch it or the dame gets it." So, he like shoots that propeller behind him and it sticks in the wall behind him and he does like the Lost Boys, "You miss, sucker." I always think he's gonna, just because in my head he goes, you missed, and I just want him to be like, "You missed, sucker." And then Batman goes, "Only once, pal," and he yanks like the concrete out from behind him, fucking knocks him out. Michelle Pfeiffer is like all kind of dorky. She's like, "Oh, the Batman," or is that just Batman? And he just kind of looks at her like, "Have a good day, ma'am." Like he even does he eyeballs the guy on the unconscious guy on the ground, and then she goes, "Oh yeah," turns around and then fucking kicks him in the stomach. Batman pieces out, and she goes, "Oh, hey, just another man in my life, taking off running." And he goes, "Of course there's you, but you need therapy," kind of thing. And she's like collecting her things that fell on the ground. She comes across that taser, turns it on, like gives the guy a shock, and she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna keep this in my purse. You never know." The day is saved. The commissioner goes, "Thanks, Batman, for saving the day." Like we get this Pat Hingle, he's like him and Michael Goff, who play Alfred, are like the only two guys that are in all four of these 10-year stretch of Batman movies. And honestly, you get just enough of him. You don't need a lot of Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. He's like, oh, who cares character. But he's always just there to like make silly comments. Like, "Thanks for saving the day, Batman."
You're welcome.
"This evidence is purely superstantial. But as of right now, we believe the Batman has kidnapped the Ice Princess."
The day is saved, but we can't find Walken anywhere. Even the mayor's like, "Where is that piece of shit go anyway?" We see Walken like running down an alley. He's like standing over a sewer grate and it like opens up trapdoor style and he goes falling in. He wakes up and he's in the sewer at like this very long like table where the Wacky Circus gang is just kind of watching him come to. He's surrounded by penguins and like he turns around and we see the scariest Danny DeVito has ever looked in his entire life. Just honestly gruesome.
Disgusting.
I love how like his first line is,
The word you're looking for is
"Ah!" Just being. And Christopher Walken like pulls a little hanky out. "Oh, the sewer penguin, man. It's not a myth." And like he does the "I think I'm gonna be sick" kind of thing, like with like the white hanky over his mouth. DeVito lets him know, "We're not so different, you and I.
we're both monsters. Only the difference is you're an acceptable monster because you don't look like this."
True.
Christopher Walken, he's a smooth talking motherfucker in this movie. Like every time he like is in a pickle, he's just like, I just like, "Hey, I think that's actually a bum rap." He's like, "Hey, I think you got a bum rap."
Is Christopher Walken just a one-trick pony though? Like, because to me, he's the same character in everything he plays.
I think there came a time where, kind of like, I feel like we've
don't
actually...
get me wrong, he's great in everything. I love Christopher Walken, but
I think when he's brought on for the right things, he's great. But I also understand where it's like, it seems like you're just doing the Walken.
Yeah, right.
We kind of talked about
just
this
give
a
me
bit.
some more cowbell, right? Like
I gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Yeah, it's just the same character.
You know, we talked about it a bit, like with Robert De Niro, where it seemed like after Meet the Parents, it was just like I could just do the De Niro thing, you know?
Yeah.
And and he's great when it works, you know, for what they're doing. But sometimes it's just like you're just doing, do the face, De Niro. You know, like do the face, do the roar. I think Walken is actually kind of phenomenal in this. Like he's just like, because he plays off like the sleazebag so well. I think I would have loved to see him in more Burton stuff. Like obviously, he's the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow,
right?
But like Walken's wackiness just fits in so perfectly with Tim Burton, especially in like this era of Burton. I would say up until Planet of the Apes, Burton is in the fucking pocket. Like he's making weird shit. He's doing like, with the exception of like Mars Attacks, it's like all practical effects. Very limited CGI, like he's just
very, very successful at it. Like
Yeah.
all of his films in this time are like top of the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Like he's just killing it.
He's worked with Michael Keaton at this point 3 times now. He's about to like really just hone in and only work with Johnny Depp for like 5 movies in a row. But like he is just so in the pocket right now, and then you add the fact that, okay, we're going to get a wacky ass Walken, but he's just playing like a fast talking, you know, huckster politician guy, sleazy businessman. Hey, I think you got a bum rap.
Yeah.
If it were up to me, you know, we'd go up surface level and I'd change everyone's opinions. To which DeVito says, you know, actually, I am from the surface. I wasn't born down here. I think you can help me, because what I really want to know is I just want some respect. I want to know my real name. I want to know who my parents are. Walken goes, and why should I help you? And then DeVito goes, oh, perfect question. I have a big bag of blackmail over here. They hand him like a giant oversized stocking, because it is Christmas time, of course. A giant stocking comes over, and he's pulling out, like he has like that toxic sludge from one of your plants, and he's like, we got a whole ocean of it behind in the back. And he goes, I mean, that could have come from anywhere. I mean, who can actually? And he's like, what if I told you I know that you own all the fire traps in all of Gotham? He goes, and if there were any such documents, they would have been shredded. I would have seen to it. And he goes, yeah, a lot of tape and a lot of time. And he like pulls up like this giant like puzzle piece of shredded documents. Oh, by the way, how's your old partner, Fred Atkins? Fred? Fred's doing good. You know, he's on extended vacation. To which he's like, oh, and he pulls his hand out. He goes, hey, remember me, Max? It's me, Fred's hand. He makes the comment, it's like, whatever you flush, I flaunt. You know, what you flush down your toilet, I hang on my mantle. Terrible image to think about. Mm-hmm. To which I love how, like, Walken sees the hand and immediately flips switch. He goes, hey, you know, actually, I think we could orchestrate something. Once I get home, of course. And he goes, you ain't gonna, you're not gonna miss this. I appreciate it, Max. Thank you very much. We get back to Michelle Pfeiffer's apartment, and I just love the sequence of her coming home. Honey, I'm home. That's right.
That's
I'm not married.
right.
She has like her own little routine where she comes in, turns her answering machine on. You know, the little cat comes in. She goes, "Oh, you're gonna tell me about you're gonna hide your sexual escapades from me?" As she's like pouring the milk for the kitten to lick up, plays the answering machine. It's her mom. I can't believe you're not coming home for Christmas. It's an ex-fling just being like, "Hey, you know that trip we were talking about? Well, my therapist says I should go by myself because I need to be more than just an appendage." She's like, should have let him win that last game of racquetball.
Yeah.
And then I love the answering machine, the voicemail of her just being like, "Hello, Selena, it's yourself, reminding you that you need to go all the way back to the office." And she's like, "God damn it." Because you need to get the files ready for the Bruce Wayne meeting tomorrow, by the way. Time is very interesting in this movie.
Very.
the first hour of this movie takes place over a day.
1 day, yes. Yes.
Because the Bruce Wayne meeting is tomorrow morning, to which she's like, God fucking damn it. She heads back to the office, and walks in and catches Pfeiffer snooping through the files. Some late night reading, and she's like, oh yeah, I got the Bruce Wayne files for you for the power plant. She's, it's very interesting. You know, I even read the secure files. He goes, oh, how industrious. Pray tell how you got in there. And she's like, oh, I saw your stuffed chihuahua, and I just figured your password was Geraldo. So, very smart. She goes, I actually think it's interesting, the whole power plant and how it's kind of just why is she saying all this stuff?
Right.
What are you doing? Cat got your tongue? What's going on? She's like, I like how it's a power plant in the name of itself, where it's actually not giving power, but it's sucking power?
More like a capacitor.
Oh. And who would you tell? And she's like, oh, I mean, I wouldn't really tell anybody. He kind of like big mans her a little bit, and he's like, what did curiosity do to the cat? And she's just like, well, no, relax. It's not like you can kill me. And he goes, actually, it's exactly what I can do. I like how the music like intensifies as he's walking her to that window, and he does like the,
Gotcha.
and she's like, oh my God, you fucking had me. And he goes, oh, what are you going to do? And he like shoves her for real out the window. Happens so fast. She goes breaking through that window, plummets to the ground, but is hitting like all these different Felix the Cats. What is even the purpose of this? Like, they have like these coverings.
Yeah, the window canopies.
But it's like only over the ones that she's falling down through. Like the rest of the building don't have them. She breaks through like 4 or 5, slams on the ground. Then a bunch of cats come up, because it's Catwoman, guys. She's being possessed by the spirits of cats, apparently. Hundreds of cats are now roaming on her, licking her. Apparently they just rubbed her down with tuna, by the way. Hey, Michelle, hold still. And they just like...
That was another thing I had to try to explain was, are the cats eating her? I'm like, no, they're nursing her back to health.
Well, now you can tell. Oh, she was covered in tuna.
Oh, yeah. Great point.
We missed that scene. Right before he pushed her out the window, he like snuck a can of tuna in her front pocket. She's like twitching on the ground while the cats are licking her. The camera's like spinning right above her. It's getting dizzy. She finally, her eyes jut open, and we cut back to her apartment. It's all dark again. Door opens up. Honey, I'm home. Oh, that's right. I'm not married. Flicks the light on. Her hair's all jacked up. She's got these giant bags under her eyes, like black eyeshadows. Like her eyes look sunken in because of her makeup. She's going through the same routine again. She turns on the answering machine. She takes the milk out of the fridge, pours way too much milk in, and then starts just absolutely housing the milk while she's listening to the answering machine. She gets like an ad. Remember when you would just get ads on? Yeah. Make mine, Max Shrek. She hears that, freaks out, starts destroying her house. She snapped at the sound of Max's name. She goes on a tear, goes into her closet. You know, she's got like that neon sign that says "Hello there." Pretty much, it's really only there for her to strategically break 2 letters, so it looks crazy at the end. She takes out like this vinyl suit and starts chopping it up, using the thickest thread I've ever seen to like sew into this. By the way, Michelle Pfeiffer had to be vacuum sealed into this costume.
I believe it.
She could only do so many takes before she would get lightheaded and pass out. So they had to
the chafing. Ugh.
They had to constantly let her out of this suit. I read that she went through 60 different cat suits that all cost $1,000 a piece.
Wow.
And $1,000 is $2,286.71 our money. So I don't know what made these cat suits so special that they had to be $1,000 a piece. Yeah, here they are. You think with $1,000 they'd be a bit more comfortable, but Here we are. She makes this cat suit. You know, she's got like the nails that she sticks on the end, and then we get like that silhouette of it panned out with all the cats looking in. The neon sign says now hell there. Hell here. Sorry, hell here. She does like that weird little twirl to all the cats, letting them know that she feels so much more yummier. The next morning, guys, the mayor is making an announcement. Like it's like we can see people like sweeping away the debris around the tree, like as he's making this announcement. Says he's going to do everything in his power to stop the violence, and the events from last night will not happen again. Right as a wacky circus gang guy shows up right behind him, takes his baby, says, "I'm not good with speeches, so thanks." Does a couple flips, jumps right down the sewer where he meets up with Danny DeVito, passes the baby off, does the whole, "Oh, no, it's the hideous penguin man. Please don't hurt me." DeVito as Penguin comes rising up through the sewer holding the baby, very sacrificially, goes and takes it to the mayor as like the camera flashes, and he's doing like the, part of me is like, oh, is it just really that bright, or is he just playing it up? I think he's playing it up. While we're watching, like, Michael Keaton is at home. By the way, we haven't seen really much of him, period, in this movie. No. Like, it's kind of been, like, for a Batman movie, we're, like, over 30 minutes in, we've seen him, like, one time. He's, like, watching on his giant big tube TV. I love the giant, it's a giant screen TV, but it's, like, super boxy in the back. He's watching, like, Penguin just being like, "I want to know who I am, who my parents are." And Bruce is like, I hope he finds him. But then immediately flips a switch and is like, this guy's up to no good, because he sees him standing next to Max Schreck. So, like, he immediately goes from I'm taking pity on him to just being like, nah, this guy's clearly a terrible person.
Something smells fishy.
He gets on the World Wide Web to figure out, the crazy bird penguin man who, like, runs the Red Triangle gang. And Alfred's like, do you feel better now? Yeah, make you feel good? You know that he's a bad man? You know that? You like that? DeVito is at the Hall of Records, and he's going through birth certificates. Writing down names. We know something nefarious is afoot. As Keaton, kind of does the same, where he's doing his own background information on him. He decides he's going to go out as Batman to try to figure out what is going on. He even pulls up to the Hall of Records, rolls the window down, sees him in there frantically writing. DeVito gets followed by the press as he goes to his parents' gravestone, does the whole dramatic falls to his knees, takes his giant top hat off as he puts dead flowers on their gravestones. Lets us know, he's like in full top hat with the umbrella, like classic Penguin look.
Classic.
He tells everyone, "My name is not Penguin. It is Oswald Cobblepot." And that he also forgives his parents, like, maybe when they saw my flipper holding my Tiffany rattle. And I was like, how he throws it in, like, we were very rich. I had a Tiffany rattle.
Tiffany rattle.
Maybe they freaked out. Who can say? But I forgive them. Cut to, like, newspaperman is like, Penguin man forgives his parents. Like, meanwhile, a woman is being mugged in an alley, but is then saved by Michelle Pfeiffer, who breaks away and says, "Be gentle, it's my first time." To which he's like, "You want to fight, lady? Let's fight." She does that, like, scratching in the face, which, like, down the face and across, and then just, like, punches him right in the goddamn fucking jaw, knocks him out. He tells the woman, "You're making it too easy for them. I am Catwoman. Hear me roar." And then just, like, backflips the fuck out. It's just like, and that's a wrap on Michelle Pfeiffer.
Deuces.
All of this is happening early in the morning, where Michael Keaton now arrives at Christopher Walken's office because they have that important meeting in the morning. Christopher Walken's like, "I'm sorry my secretary is on vacation, or else I'd ask if you want some coffee or something." I like how they're sitting at that giant round table. And
throws the spiral notebook to him across the...
heads up, Max. Like, just like handing it to him. He lets him know, he's like, and this is when, like, Walken is, like, in full Beetlejuice garb. Like, his hair is extra out. He's got, like, the gray and black stripes instead of the white and black. Keaton lets him know, like, there's really no need for a power plant. We already have a surplus. I want to know what your angle is. Both the mayor and I are on the same page. What are you working at? I know you have a crime boss in the Penguin. We're getting that. Then, like, Walken does, like, the old fake. I'm pissed off at you. He's like, hey, how dare you say that? Penguin, he's just trying to learn about himself and try to be a good member of this society. And he's like, and by the way, like, if my secretary was here, I'd have her walk you out only for the door to open. And Michelle Pfeiffer comes in. She's got a little boo-boo on her forehead. That's it. Not bad. She fell 60 stories. Just a little cut on the top of her head. Not even the right... Like, it's on the front, not the back. Anyway. Selena, did you get hurt on your ski trip? He's like... She's like, I don't remember. Yesterday was just such a blur. I remember everything. I remember the girl who got sick and threw up at school and everyone said it was morning sickness. I even remember forgetting to wear underwear to school one day, and the guy who found out is dead now. But yesterday, poof, nothing there. Like, obviously, like, cheeky, like, we know what you did. But by the way, Mr. Wayne, I must see you out. As they're walking off, they kind of hit it off. They both are very much taken with each other. Walken, talking to his son's like, Dad, is it bad that she's here? And he goes, she wants to blackmail me. I'll drop her out a tall window. It's like, I love that. But right now, I got bigger fish to fry. Cut to him in Danny DeVito's attic. He's up there snorting and sniveling like he does. It's just like, just blow your nose, dude. Yeah. I know it's cold, but blow your nose. He goes upstairs and he goes, Mr. Cobblepot, why don't you come downstairs? I have a surprise for you. He's like, I don't like surprises. He's got his names. He's got written down. He's like, I have more important things going on. He goes, why don't you come down and we can talk about it? And he pulls out a raw fish and treats it like a bribe. So disgusting how he just like...
Gross. He's just like chomping away on that fish. Ugh.
And I like how like the fish scales are still like super tough because he can't cut through it. It's just like all the flesh is getting taken off. He goes downstairs and to his surprise, Walken is having him campaign to be mayor. I love those campaign posters because those are like straight out of the comic book. Like that is the caricature of the Penguin, like the classic purple suit, top hat with the cigarette holder and monocle hanging out of his eye and a cobblepot for mayor. He's like, don't elections happen in November and we're like in the middle of late December? And he goes, recalls happen all the time. Anything can happen. He starts getting a little horned up about the thought of being mayor as like a bunch of handlers come to dress him down. He's like, we need you to put these gloves on, like, our data says that voters like people with fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't wear the gloves. We'll wear it at a different time. Only for that one guy to like try to like put a little makeup on him. He's like, oh, not a lot of reflective surfaces down in the sewer, are there? Danny DeVito, it could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood. Well, what the fuck does that do? Like bites this dude. I remember him biting the nose clean off. Nose is still there, but you do get that perfect squirt of blood. Like when he bites it. Everyone's horrified, but we're still going to vote for this guy.
Why not?
That's my mayor. My mayor's doing what it takes to clean up the streets of Gotham. Even if it means biting every goddamn nose here. All right, everyone back to work. DeVito is like, I have other things going on. I can't be mayor. And Walken's like, listen, you be mayor. It's great. You do whatever the fuck you want. Obviously, you push my power plant through. But right now, I need your guys to start squeezing the current mayor. And he goes, yeah. Give a little hell on everybody. Mm-hmm. He's like, burn the ash, rule over the ashes kind of thing. He goes, all right, mayor. Oh, your table, Mr. Cobblepot. Oh, he starts doing all like the fantasizing about actually being mayor. And he goes, all right, we'll fuck it up. burn, baby, burn. Cut to immediately, the wacky circus gang is like destroying the city. We have like that dog carrying the grenade into like a little shop.
Yeah.
And then leaves with just the pin in its mouth. Everything's blowing up. Batman shows up to claim order. He immediately gets his batarang taken by the dog, thinking it's a game of fetch. Just jumps up, catches it, and runs away. And Batman doesn't even try to get it back. He goes, "Oh well, you learn to live." Meanwhile, we see Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. She finds a whip. She's running around this mall. She's like destroying mannequins' heads. Like, we have, like, guards gawking at her. He's like, I don't know if I should arrest her or propose to her. She's like, you men are so stupid. You're always confusing your pistols for your penises. As she, like, whips them out of their hands. And he's like, take it easy, lady. We'll pay by the hour. She's like, yeah, overpaid.
He's like, we take home $300.
He's like, I take home less than 300. He's like, you're overpaid. Outside, Batman murders another person with a bomb this time. Shoves a bomb down a guy's pants and throws him down a sewer drain, and it explodes. Batman's hands aren't very clean, okay, guys? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. He doesn't have rules yet. He runs into Penguin, who's just kind of like creepily sitting in an aisle, and he's just like, watching over what you've done. He goes, oh, no, I'm just surveying the damage. You know, doing what other mayoral stuff, you know, George Bush, Hurricane Katrina stuff. The catastrophe. Only for them both to turn and see Michelle Pfeiffer like backflipping out of the mall, stops and goes, meow, right as the mall explodes. Penguin calls dibs. I seen her first. Uses his umbrella that turns into like a helicopter propeller and just kind of like flies away. I saw her first, but you guys can fight. Batman follows Catwoman to the roof, and they have a little fight. I love how she punches him, he punches her back, and she goes, how could you? I'm a woman. And Batman's like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry.
Chivalry is dead.
Only for her to, like, kick him in the dick and just be like, that's what I'm saying. I'm a woman. You shouldn't. He's just, all right, my bad. Okay, I didn't. Are we fighting or are we not fighting? Oh, okay. We are fighting. Okay. She kicks him off the roof, but then he like napalms her arm, only for her to fall. She like lands in a pile of kitty litter. Saved by kitty litter.
Yeah.
I love how like the next day we get the Cobblepot for Mayor banners are starting to fill the streets. DeVito's telling his supporters that he will not sit idly by while this current mayor destroys this city. And he heads up to his attic, okay, my fellow constituents, I must now go retire. He goes upstairs towards like, hey, what's going on, Mr. Penguin? He goes, don't call me Penguin, I'm Oswald Cobblepot. And he goes, okay, Mr. Cobblepot, you have a guest here waiting for you. Only for him to turn into a horny old goat at the sight of Michelle Pfeiffer just like sprawled out on his bed, leather suit and all. Yeah, he's like busting out lube and shit. He's like, I got like scented oils. She was like, regardless of this, I still think we should collab. We need to get rid of the thorn in our side, the fly in the proverbial ointment. Batman. Yeah, he's kind of a pain in the ass.
She eats his Tweety bird.
And he goes, don't worry about it. We're going to hack into his Batmobile. We're going to turn it into an A-bomb in downtown Gotham. She goes, killing him is just going to make him a martyr. He's like, so what we need to do, and he goes, a frame job. And she's like, you're not even running for office yet, and you're already framing your constituents. They finally come to accord, like you were saying, they have like a pet murder standoff. Yeah. Where she like eats his bird. But then he like pulls like the umbrella knife to her. Why did she bring a cat? She's brought a cat to a business meeting. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And she finally lets the bird out. Apparently it was supposed to be, I mean, she does put like a fake bird in her mouth, but like everything else, that is a real bird like flying out of her mouth. Somehow they got that bird to like, and action, fly out. They decide what they're going to do is they're going to lure Batman out during another tree lighting ceremony. We get a TV shot of, Oswald calling for the mayor to do another rewrite tree ceremony, and I implore the Batman to be here to retain order. Keaton runs into Pfeiffer on the street, and they kind of hit it off. They flirt back and forth a little bit, and he's like, hey, why don't you come over to my place? We'll watch the tree lighting thing. She's like, actually, I have to kind of be somewhere. And he goes, well, we can do early dinner, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? We'll do 6 o'clock. And she's like, all right, you got me. Only for us to cut to the tree lighting princess, who's apparently the only person in Gotham who has no idea who the Penguin is. Like, he comes, like, bursting into her tent, and she's like, who are you? And he goes, oh, darling, I'm a talent scout. And she goes, that's great. I can do more than act. I can also sing. And he has, like, the batarang in his hand, and she's like, what is that? And he goes, oh, say cheese, honey. And she's like, oh, cheese. Only for him to club her over the head with it. Back at Wayne Manor, Keaton and Pfeiffer are making out hot and heavy. But they keep, like, bumping into each other's wounds, like the napalm wound on her shoulder. She stabbed him in the side. So they're like, oh, we can't really do this. But they're interrupted by the TV saying that Batman has abducted the princess, to which we get the commissioner being like, this is substantial evidence. We don't know for sure, but as of right now, the Batman is wanted for kidnapping. To which Keaton has to go and make up a story. He's telling Alfred, tell her that, like, I have, like, a big business meeting I gotta close down. It's like, I also tell her that, like, I'm not really kind of, like, I'm ready. You know what? Figure it out. And he goes, okay, sure, sounds good. He goes to tell Michelle Pfeiffer, and she goes, Alfred, and he's like, oh, Master Wayne would like me. Oh, yeah, Bruce. Can you tell him that, like, I had to go somewhere, and, like, can you
write him a sonnet or a dirty limerick.
A dirty limerick. He's like, one just came to mind.
Great Alfred, by the way.
One did just come to mind. Batman arrives in downtown Gotham. He locks his Batmobile. Whip, whip. It locks everything up. Shielding. But the wacky circus gang has bigger plans. They just use his batarang to unlock it. And they start pulling wires and shit out. It's like nuts. They're locking this probe onto it so they can actually control it. From the roof, Batman sees the tree lighting princess, who's tied to a chair. As he's going to save her, he lets her know. He's like, people think I kidnapped you. And he's like, oh, don't worry. I'll tell everybody it was like this bird guy who smells like fish. And it's like, yeah, the guy running for mayor. Banners are fucking everywhere. How do you not know who this guy is? Only for Catwoman to be like, did somebody say fish? I haven't eaten all day. It's just like, all right. She unties the princess and says, we have to, girl talk. We need to go to the roof. Batman follows. She's standing precariously on a ledge. And she's like, oh, she let me go. I must have been able to talk to her, girl talk, kind of thing to let me go. Oh, only for DeVito to, like, just appear and go, lawn dot, and, like, spear chucks an umbrella that hits the ground, opens up, and a bunch of bats come out, fly around. Batman's like, be careful. And she falls backwards, falls to her death. Everyone's like, hey, Batman, just push the princess. You mess with Spider-Man, you mess with all of us. She falls perfectly, true to form. Tree lighting gal falls on the tree lighting button. Always a professional. She went out doing what she loved, which was turning trees on. The lights turn on, scares 1,000 bats. Bats come flying out of the tree, just absolutely terrorizing downtown Gotham with these bats. Batman escapes the police, but again runs into Catwoman. She has him on the ground, and there's just, like, random mistletoe on somebody's chimney on the roof. And she says, he says, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. And then she says, but a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it. And then just licks the shit out of his face. And he goes, oh, I kind of liked that. She lets him know. She's like, I've already died. I died once already. You killed me twice. I have 7 lives left. Letting us know that she is supernatural, apparently. Yeah. I mean, granted, she did survive a skyscraper fall. Batman goes, this has been hot, but I gotta dip out. I got to go terrorize downtown Gotham. He turns on this huge glider that kind of looks a little clunky with his suit. Instead of it like being the cape, it looks like a fucking glider. He goes down gliding.
Which I remember the toy, you know.
Yeah, it clipped right into his back.
Yeah.
I used to fly it around, and then I would do it above the light in my room, so it did like the silhouette, because it's like every movie he does, especially the 1989 where he's like flying right in front of the moon, so it gives off the...
I would tie mine to the ceiling fan in my bedroom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
He says, this has been hot, but I gots to dip. Terrorizes Gotham. They're still freaking out because of the bats, and he's like flying way low. I'm like, you are not helping your case by not looking like a fucking terrifying monster. DeVito appears and presents Catwoman with a touch of the bubbly. She says, you said you weren't gonna hurt her, the tree lighting gal, and he goes, she looks fine to me, looking down at the ground. And he goes, now it's time to consummate our partnership. And she's like, I wouldn't touch you to scratch you. And he goes, God damn it, you're giving me all the signals and now you're turning your back on me. You know what? I don't even like you anymore. And he straps the umbrella to her neck. It turns into a chopper and flies away. And he does the whole, goodbye, my unintended, go to heaven. I remember as an 8-year-old kid being like, I've never heard somebody say go to heaven before. It's always go to hell. I was like, nice. Yeah. This guy, this is a good guy.
He means well.
Yeah. Go to heaven. She's able to get herself free, but in doing so plummets down through a greenhouse window. She kind of sits up. Ouch. And then screams, only for the rest of the greenhouse glass to explode around her. Now she's down to apparently 6 lives. She mentions that also took a life from her. In the Batmobile, Penguin now has full control. I love how he goes in his little RV and he's got like one of those... Do they even have these anymore? Like out in front of grocery stores? Like the little you put... It even says Bat Ride 50 cents. Like, and it's like the...
Just driving that little car.
Instead of the little pony. He says, welcome to Oswald Cobblepot's School of Driving. I just love the... Because honestly, it's just like, hey, we need a set piece of Batman just driving like crazy around Gotham City. And then just like Penguin in a giant, like Danny DeVito in a fat suit, just like barely fitting in this toy car. Just like going ham. While he's also talking shit about the citizens of Gotham. I played this thinking city like a harp from hell. Batman... trying to figure out where the problem is. He's running a logistics test, but also has the foresight to bust out a compact disc to record the entire conversation. Batman finally removes the probe and now has full control again of the Batmobile, which pisses off Penguin even more. Like we see the RV is like shaking back and forth, going nuts. The police are still after Batman, but he escapes by just breaking a Batmobile in half, and it turns into like a little...
two-wheeler.
A little motor scooter that fits through like these buildings that are almost close enough to touch, but they don't. The next day, Danny DeVito's about to find out about deep fakes, because he's about to get deep faked like crazy. He's set to make a speech to recall the mayor. Christopher Walken's getting him jazzed. Here we go. It starts right now. Here we go. Get this guy out of town. Keaton and Alfred decide they're going to make a little mixtape. And as he's giving his speech, they jam the signal and start playing what Penguin said to him in the Batmobile. I played this stinking city like a harp from hell. These dumb pinhead citizens of Gotham. And then even like the one touch too far where Keaton does the DJ. I was just like
no, bro. We had those Walkman compact disc players, and that shit would have skipped.
He's just scratching the disc. The crowd obviously starts turning on Penguin. They're throwing cabbage and tomatoes at him. Thank God we brought these. I love how he pulls his umbrella and to block it. And he goes, I don't know who keeps fucking bringing eggs to the speeches. Opens fire on everybody. They all duck down, only to give him enough time to then run away. Goes right back to that same spot his parents dumped him, we're getting the duality. His parents turned on him, and now the citizens of Gotham are turning on him once more. It's kind of his fault, but what are you gonna do? Plays up the emotionality of him, like head diving right into that icy cold water you were talking about at the beginning to get back to his home base in the Arctic section of the zoo. The original plan is back on. Luckily, I have a copy of all the names in the attic, and I have a copy at home base here. Starts handing them out to all his cronies. These is the names. The names that he was compiling are the firstborn sons of the people of Gotham. He divvies them out to his insane clown posse, because tonight the parents are going to outdo Christmas party shenanigans. We will sneak into their homes and steal their firstborns and fucking drown them.
But first we'll put them in a choo-choo train cage.
Yeah, well, we got to lure them out there. Look, it's a train, guys. It's the Polar Express. If you just believe. Tom Hanks is like, tickets, please. Oh, this one says, scared shitless.
Yeah.
One of his clowns are like, hey, Mr. Penguin, kidnapping children, doesn't that seem a little, Only for Penguin to then shoot him with his umbrella in the... I love how he goes, no, it's a lot! He, like, kicks him into the water. He just, like, rolls into the water. Cut to us at Christopher Walken's party. By the way, it's a Christmas party. And the band is playing Super Freak.
Right. I loved it. It's a Super Freak. Super Freak. And a masquerade.
Yeah. And I like Bruce Wayne choosing not to wear a mask because people might recognize his chin.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the Batman. Christopher Walken goes up behind. Don't tell me. Let me guess. Spoiled billionaire?
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you know? Keaton's only there because he thinks that Michelle Pfeiffer will show up. And guys, wouldn't you know it? She's also there, and she's also not wearing a mask because she does not like to wear masks. You can tell she's really going through something. You know, they start dancing. She kind of invites him, hey, want to come back to my place after? I just have to do something first. And he goes, oh, actually, kind of, yeah. Sounds like a hoot. And she's like, I just
semi-hard.
Yeah, I'm meeting up with Max real quick. And he goes, oh, you and Max, I didn't realize you were a thing. And she goes, no. I'm going to fucking cap his ass. She pulls a gun out and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? Like, pulls her inside. He's like, we're in goddamn public, lady. He's like, I understand that you hate your boss. A lot of people hate their bosses. It's like, but you don't fucking shoot them. It's Christmas time. What are you doing? That's a New Year's thing. They bring it in. He slaps a kiss on her, even though he's like clearly panicked at what she's doing. She smiles and looks up and sees mistletoe.
Wouldn't you know? Conveniently placed mistletoe.
And then she hits us with, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. And then he whispers in her ear, but a kiss can be even. Whoa. They have that realization that they know who each other are. I like her read of, oh no, does this mean we have to start fighting? And he's like, take it easy, Selena, take it easy. Let's go outside. We'll figure this out. As they're going outside, they luckily leave the center floor because immediately once their stage left, the floor explodes. And we get the Penguin in his fucking ducky mobile, guys. I had a friend growing up who was like obsessed with Penguin, and specifically this Penguin. And his ducky mobile was like the thing he thought was just so like one of the things he loved about him. And it was like truly upset they never made like a Batmobile version of the ducky car. And I don't think they made toys that matched Danny DeVito's character, by the way. I think they were all like from the comics and cartoons because I think they were like, this dude's a fucking menace. He looks too scary. We're not going to sell any toys. He coming up. He's in his rubber ducky mobile. He's got like 3 penguins with him that all are fucking packing. Do you see something?
Yeah, they did make a toy, and you can buy it right now for $132, and it comes with a penguin action figure.
The ducky mobile?
Yeah, it's a McFarlane penguin ducky mobile. Yeah.
So it's so it's not an original, like it's based on the movie, but it wasn't sold with the movie. Unless McFarlane did all the toys for...
Can't really tell, but I mean, it says 1992.
Is this the same McFarlane that created Spawn? Todd McFarlane?
No, McFarlane
And Venom?
McFarlane toys make like you remember the baseball like action figures? I've got a couple of them on my desk at work.
Oh, I don't. I didn't have any baseball action figures.
Or football or basketball, like they were always like posed dunking or no.
I think I had a Michael Jordan. No, that's actually not true. I had a Scottie Pippen one on my dresser at home.
Yeah.
Because it was the 90s, guy. He's got his penguins that are fucking strapped with rockets. They got their helmets on. It's just like I love the sight of him. Also, Penguin telling everybody exactly what his plan is. And apparently none of these parents seem fazed because nobody goes home.
Right.
They're like, is the party still going? He lets them know while you're out here getting juiced up, wearing your fancy clothes and dancing, my men are now going into your homes and taking your children. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here for Gotham's favorite son, Chip Shrek. Walken goes, don't take my son if you have any shred of dignity. And he goes, I don't.
Yeah.
He goes, be that as it may, wouldn't you rather kill me? See my eyes up, me up to my eyes in toxic sludge. And he goes, hey, you got a point. All right, I'll let the kid live. You get in the duck. The line "get in the duck" is just so funny to me. He like scoots over and like penguins have to like waddle over to make room for him to sit. And we cut to them back at the sewer lair, and now Christopher Walken is in a comedically large bird cage, hovering over ice cold water, where he says, all the children will be coming in here now, and we're gonna throw them one by one into the icy water, and then we're gonna dunk your ass in right after them. While he's like playing with his umbrella with like the rotary on it, so it's like the little children's toys hanging down. He's doing like a little Pied Piper dance to the whole thing. To which we see the circus train, the Polar Express, is driving down the streets of Gotham. We got my history teacher is driving the train. Hey, hurry up back there. We see screaming babies like in cages in the train. We have him look up only for Batman Cape to kind of flutter over it. Back at the lair, DeVito's like, what the hell's going on? They should be here by now. Why should be here? Only for a monkey to show up with like a little letter. Apparently this was like one of the hardest things to do because the monkey was truly terrified of Danny DeVito's makeup.
I believe it.
A trained monkey was give him the letter and then leave. That's all I had to do, but it would not go anywhere near him. Finally, they got a take, and they were like, good enough. I love how cheeky Batman is. He just writes up a little letter with like the business letter at the top, the heading. Dear Penguin, the children regret that they cannot attend. Sincerely, Batman. Which, by the way, is written by Bob Kane, the creator of Batman. Still alive at this point. Hand wrote that for the movie.
Nice.
Penguin then goes and gives a Patton-esque speech. The only thing missing is him standing in front of an American flag. He's looking over at his troops of penguins. He's letting them know the liberation of Gotham has begun. Now fly, my pretties, fly. The music is like... However, Batman's hip to it. He's patrolling the sewers. Him and Alfred jam the signals to the Penguins, so by the time they do make it to Gotham Square, he just has them fucking turn around. Batman hones in on Penguin's signal and is now headed his way. We get that look of like Penguin looking down that dark tunnel, and we can hear him coming on his little, water bike that he's driving. It's getting louder and louder, and then we see like the Insane Clown Posse just be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And they like kind of like slowly drift away. Like the poodle lady that's like announcing, like just kind of like slips into the darkness and she's out of frame. He gets into his Ducky Mobile and starts driving, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Makes it topside. but only for him to then just get run over by Batman, who breaks out through the wall, runs him over. They tussle for a second, but Penguin pulls out his little knife umbrella, but then Batman just reveals that I have the honing signal for the Penguins. DeVito then sees red and attacks. He goes nuts. He knocks the jammer out of Batman's hands and takes it and pushes the button as the Penguins show up, but the button just has them fucking shoot rockets at him, brother.
Yeah.
What are you doing? So now every Penguin is launching rockets directly at the holder of this. He freaks out. I missed the scene where the bats just fucking show up. Like, bats just immediately start swarming him. He steps backwards, falls through a window, plummets into the water as missiles start hitting the zoo where he's at. Meanwhile, Walken has gotten the keys to the cage from the monkey and has kind of escaped. He's getting out of the cage only for Catwoman to whip his leg, pull him into the water. While down there, he sees the dead clown. He sees the pistol right there, and so he grabs it. Perfect, the pistol in the water. He starts sweet talking. He's like, "Hey, listen, honey, I can make things work out. You know, I don't know what's going on with you, but she says, ain't gonna have it. A die for a die is what she says. Only for Batman to intervene. He'd be like, Selina, leave him alone. You and I were the same, split right down the middle." I love he removes his mask just to be like, "Hey, remember how you said you hate wearing masks? Well, let me prove it by taking mine off." The scene before, he's wearing eye black.
Yeah.
But when he's going to tear the mask off, he does not have the eye black on anymore. So it looks so silly for that 1 second where he's still wearing the mask. He takes it off, and Bruce Wayne, why you dressed like Batman? He's like, "Because he is Batman, you idiot." And Selina Kyle, you're fired. Oh no. She's like, "I have 6 lives left." Oh, and Christopher Walken pulls his gun out and goes, "Bruce Wayne, not anymore." Shoots Bruce in the stomach, and she says, "I have 6 lives left. You got enough bullets in that gun?" And he goes, "Let's find out." Shoots him twice. She goes, 4, 5, still alive. Shoots him 2 more times, and the fucking children go crazy as he says 6, 7. All good girls go to heaven. Topical thing that I still don't get. He goes to shoot again. Gun's empty. She says, "I still have 2 lives left." Like, "But I think I'll save one for next Christmas." She then takes the taser out where she was hiding it. Don't know. Again, vacuum sealed in this suit.
That thing didn't have pockets.
Pulls the taser out, and she says, "Hey, Max, how about a kiss?" She grabs the power converter, sticks the taser in her and Walken's mouth, and electrocutes them both. And by doing so, overloads the power, causing Penguin's lair to erupt into explosions. Batman gets up, Michael Keaton gets up, frantically searching for Selina, uncovers a crispy Walken. Like, that image always stuck out to my head, just like the... as Danny DeVito emerges from the water, black ooze coming out of his mouth, looking super haggard, disgusting, doing his best Joe Pesci, as he slowly walks up, "I'm gonna fucking kill him." Grabs an umbrella, hoping it's a murder weapon, pulls it out. Nope, it's the one with the rotary toy on it. And he goes, "Give me a second, would you?" Like, Keaton turns around, sees him struggling. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you in a second. I just need a drink of ice water." Only for him to then finally die. He looks so gross, just flopping.
So gross.
He's like, he's got a fucking wedgie, so you can see his giant butt crack, just like the image of him just like on the ground.
His suit is all like sweat stained and nasty looking. Ugh.
He's just it's like that. It was probably white at one time, but now it's like that fucking sweat stained brown.
Yeah.
Michael's smelling it. I can see you smell.
Gross.
Luckily, This isn't a sad funeral, as the penguins all come out and ceremoniously pallbearer him
Yeah, march his ass down.
to the water. You know, just kind of put him into the water so he can rest in peace as we get that final shot of like the black blood filling up with the water as the penguins, you know, give him a little salute. They don't do that part, but I would have loved just like one little flipper. Sometime later, Keaton is zoned out in the back of his limo, just hanging out as Alfred's driving. He thinks he sees a shadow as Alfred stopped the car. He looks down the alley thinking it might be Michelle Pfeiffer, but only finds a stray cat. Michael Keaton says, "Dibs," picks up the cat, walks back to the car. Alfred has the look of, "Oh boy, now I get to take care of a cat now," look on his face as he gets in the car. And he goes, "Oh, well, Mr. Wayne, come what may. Merry Christmas." Because this is a Christmas movie, guys.
Yes, it is.
Michael Keaton, you know, retorts back, "Merry Christmas, Alfred. Goodwill towards men and women. And you know what? This year, and women." They drive away as we see the cityscape and the bat signal appear as Catwoman's head peeks her head up. The end. Will she return? She will not.
She will not.
By the way, that scene was added 2 weeks before the movie was hitting theaters. They felt like they needed another button, so they had a body double. Honestly, you don't really need a body. It's not Michelle Pfeiffer in the suit. It's just somebody wearing a cat suit looking up. That one single shot cost $250,000
Whoa.
just to superimpose her head peeking up, which, by the way, is equivalent to $571,678.32 for one single shot of a movie. God, I mean, this. I'm probably gonna watch the other two. But while we're talking about that, I gots to know. I need your Batman rankings, guys. Movies, actors. The actor? Michael, why don't you go ahead?
Sadly, I cannot rank any of them because I've only seen this one.
Are you lampooning me, Meat Drapes?
No.
Wow.
I've seen
Period.
probably... So I've definitely seen... I've definitely seen Batman Returns, obviously, because I watched it. Yeah, we just did it, duh. But I've seen probably like half of The Dark Knight, and then everything else, dude. I've never seen them. Always live vicariously through other people.
This is like such a... I mean, like, because of when I was born. Like, but I was so... Like, Batman was the guy to me. So, like, the fact that these movies have existed for so long and you've just never seen them, just like, at the risk of, once again, us being like, "Oh my God, Michael's not seen a movie." Well, like,
yeah, I mean, they've always been, like, I've always seen him be like, "Oh, that looks good," and I meant to get around to it, but I just never did. You know, it's always interesting to see, like, oh, look, they're doing a new Batman movie. Who's going to be the new Batman, you know? So, yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, that was the one where I was like, oh, shit. So.
That's a 3-hour movie, too.
Yeah, believe it. But yeah, so I don't got more for you, but you sent me that the other day, and I was like, well, shit. I'll leave this as a surprise for them.
Is this one your favorite or your least favorite?
Well,
I guess technically both.
I actually really like this one. This one, it scared the fuck
How do you
out of
feel...
me when I watched that when I was younger. Yeah.
No. How do you feel about Michael Keaton as Batman in general?
I think he does a good job. I think it's the one I think of the most, but maybe because it's the only one I've seen. But like, you look through like all the other Batmans, like it seems the most not realistic, but the most not just like, "I'm Batman. My parents are dead," you know?
Martha.
Yeah, just like do you speak in a normal voice or just pure agony all the time?
No.
No.
Lucius. Well, in that case, Brandon, I turn to you. We have 10 Batman movies and 7 actors.
All right. I will start at number 10. Work my
Please.
way up. All right, number 10. Batman the movie 1966, only because that's the one that I've seen the least amount of times. I've probably only seen it one time, and that was, I don't know, 30 years ago. So
Yeah. Did you watch the TV show?
the Adam West TV show? I've seen enough episodes to remember. Yeah, pow and bam and whoop it. Yeah. So, number 9, I got Batman Returns.
Wow.
Yeah. I think there's better ones than that. Number 8, I've got Batman versus Superman. Number 7, Batman Forever. Number 6, Batman and Robin.
Can I ask? The only thing I'm going to ask is,
Sure.
like, what makes Batman and Robin better than Batman Forever to you? Because that's always, like, the two that people are like, we, as a society, hate them. I've always been... They're very close to my heart, just because those are the ones I've probably seen the most. So I'm just... Because I have them also back-to-back, but I have them flopped, actually. So I'm curious why... Yeah.
Here's the kicker. I have an arrow that, notes that I could flip either one of those two. So they're so close. But I specifically remember watching Batman and Robin more times because I thought it was cooler because Robin was always a cool addition, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, number 5, I got Batman, 1989. Number 4, The Batman. So number 3, Dark Knight Rises. Number 2, Batman Begins. And number 1, The Dark Knight.
Nice. And what is your actor ranking? We're ranking Batman actors, not actors. You know what I'm saying? Like, as Batman, yeah.
So number 7, I got Adam West. Again, just because that's the one that I've seen the least.
Yeah.
Number 6, Val Kilmer. Number 5, George Clooney. Number 4, Ben Affleck. 3, Robert Pattinson. 2, Michael Keaton. And 1, Christian Bale.
I will say, as far as actors go, we are almost exactly the same. Movies, we are all over the map. My rankings, personally, number 10, Batman the movie. Same reason you said. I've seen it one time, period.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even tell you. I never watched the show. Like, I know about it, like how famous and corny it is. But I've only ever seen the movie, which is also why Adam West, for me, is my number 7. Is just...
Makes sense.
Yeah. My number 9 is Batman versus Superman. Number 8, The Dark Knight Rises. Number 7, Batman and Robin. Number 6, Batman Forever. Number 5, The Dark Knight. Number 4, the movie we did today, Batman Returns. Number 3, Batman Begins. Number 2, The Batman. And number 1, Batman 1989. Which might tell you exactly who I think the number 1 actor is, but we'll do that right now. 7, obviously Adam West. Just like you, I have my 90s Batman flipped. I have Clooney at 6 and Kilmer at 5. Number 4, I have Ben Affleck. Number 3, I have Pattinson. So
nice.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. Number 2, I have Christian Bale. And number 1, I have Michael Keaton. And I think I edge Keaton up top just because I think he's better. Also, like, an important part of being Batman is you also have to be Bruce Wayne. It's kind of a duel. I don't think Christian Bale is all that great as the billionaire playboy. When you watch Batman 1989, like, he just oozes billionaire playboy Michael Keaton. And Christian Bale's a little stiff for me. Like, great Batman, not a very great Bruce Wayne. And I think that is why I
respect that.
Honestly, I don't think we're gonna start any fights by saying 1 and 2 regardless of position. Keaton and Bale. I've always been a bit less on the Dark Knight trilogy. I've always said that I always liked Begins better. I don't even know why. Like, obviously Heath Ledger's Joker, great. He's phenomenal in it. But I also was really fucking, as a kid, like Scarecrow on the animated series was one of my favorite villains. Batman Begins has Scarecrow. Well, I think it's just a lot of that. You know, taking in your childhood, you know, like it was a villain we also had never fucking seen in a movie before. You know the kicker that really kind of depresses me? You ever play in an alternate reality? I would love to see this happen. It'll never happen, but Joel Schumacher had signed on for 3 Batman movies, which is the aftermath of Burton. Warner Brothers is like, too horny, too scary, you're done, Burton. And he goes, all right, cool, I didn't really care to begin with.
Yeah.
We're going to hire Joel Schumacher. We're going to make it a bit more kid-friendly, the tone, more comedic. You know, we're calling it Batman Forever, but we're also introducing Robin in Batman Forever. But then we have called Batman... I always say those titles should have been flipped. I don't know why it was called...
Right.
Doesn't matter. Schumacher comes in. He signs on for 3 movies. Makes Batman Forever. Makes a lot of money. People don't really like it. Batman and Robin come out. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got Uma Thurman. Makes a shit ton of money. People fucking hate it. So they're like, these make a lot of money, but people don't like them, so we're cutting you. They had signed Jeff Goldblum to be the Scarecrow in the 3rd Schumacher. And I'm like, fuck. That would have cooked.
That would have been good.
Oh, yes. Yeah, your dreams are terrifying.
That would have been good, yeah.
Call me Dr. Jonathan Crane. Sure, sir. You know, like, I was just like, fuck. In a world where that exists, I'd love to watch. But,
yeah.
Anywho, those are our Batman rankings. Our Batman actors and Batman film rankings. We're done with Christmas, guys. Or do we have anything else we need to say before we talk about what's going on next week?
I mean, we could potentially say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, yeah, well, we could, but...
Only if we
why?
wanted to.
Well, okay, to that. Merry Christmas, everybody. You filthy animals out there. We hope you enjoyed. We kind of diverted a little bit. We've been edging everybody with James Bond, which will be when we pick back up in January. We are taking... For us, it'll be a little bit of a break. For y'all, it'll be probably 2-3 weeks. We're going to pick back up in January with the James Bond franchise. This should be a lot of fun. But as for right now, thanks for bearing with us while we, kind of diverted a little bit. Did some Halloween movies, did some Christmas movies. Hopefully brought a little cheer to everybody out there. It's getting cold as shit here. And like I said to you guys before we recorded, watching this movie just made me even colder.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. You guys want to add anything before we sign off?
Got nothing.
Nothing. Merry Christmas. Right. Happy New Year.
No. Go with God.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah. What do you guys say we go ahead and cut, print, check the gate?
See you guys.
See ya.